You can pick a goal that is right for you. If you feel like you rather focus on your finger spaces, then that's okay too.
As teachers, we experience a lot of things that we'd like to implement, and we hear about it on a theoretical framework level. But what the Cecil project has intentionally done and designed its entire work around was the ultimate goal of it getting into the classroom.
We're going to engage in the iterative process of lesson design. Our real overarching goal is to enhance our capacity to universally design learning experiences.
The impact the collaborative process had on the Learning Design Studio for me was really beneficial. I wish teachers could do that every day, because when you're working in your own classroom on your own, you're just having your own ideas, and collaborating together and bouncing ideas off one another and people coming with different perspectives helps broaden my thinking and my lesson planning.
Are they writing about anything in particular? Or is it
I don't think before today I've ever sat down with a lesson and put it out on a grid step by step and thought clearly about what barriers could the students face during that time of the day, and listed out the materials I may need, or how can I support a certain student during that time. So listing out each step as a part of the lesson really kind of helped my understanding of the design process.
We're going to start thinking about the lesson design itself. What is the goal? What are the activities? What are the materials? And we'll go through each moment of the lesson using our journey map that would just take notes once we've designed the lesson to help us when we're following the lesson and our learner throughout the lesson.
We wanted to make sure we knew what our goal was with the lesson, and the way we approached that was every time we were implementing a part of the lesson, we would ask, is this hitting the goal that we set?
I want you and your partner to talk about a goal you could pick for your writing today.
As far as for the students, we did some checks to see, do you know what the goal is? We had them turn and talk to other peers to explain what their goal was.
It's okay if the lesson's not perfect. That's not what we're going for. We say to our participants, it's going to be messy at times, but trust the process. And that's exactly what I had to do as a learner. There were many times where I was like, I don't know what that looks like because I haven't been through it yet. But to just trust the process.
So how might we give them the opportunity to brainstorm, maybe turn it...
During this process, they really immersed us in UDL practices. So the facilitators, they gave us multiple means of representation and engagement, and encouraged us to participate in the process and guide ourselves through the process. So that direct modeling by the facilitators really influenced my actions in the classroom. And what was your goal for today?
Spaces.
Spaces. Can you show everybody your spaces? Very good. Because I was able to see exactly what I needed to be doing firsthand, and it kind of showed me how it felt to be the learner in that situation.
Do you want to do anything different on your lesson, or that your teacher can do different to help you? She did a good job. Ms. DeVille did a good job.
Empathizing with the learner today when we were observing the lesson really helped me put myself in the student's shoes to see where the student might be struggling or feeling comfortable and confident.
Let's start thinking about kind of the design of the lesson. On our journey map, it's broken into 6 moments of the lesson. It doesn't mean we have to have exactly 6.
Sometimes it gets to be very overwhelming when you are going into some kind of professional development for yourself and you think that you need to implement everything at once. So you get those UDL guidelines and you're like, okay, I want to implement all 30 of them right now. Do our goals have to be the same? Nope, they don't. It was really helpful for me to kind of take a look at it and celebrate some of the things that I'm already doing in my classroom currently. What do you want to do? Do you want to start with a capital? Do you want to use spaces, or do you want to have punctuation? Punctuation. Punctuation, what do you want to do?
Definitely hone in on what my goal is and keep it specific and tight. Give some checkpoints with students, not only for their academic output, but also for their empathy, how they're feeling about it, so I can adjust the lesson as needed.
The kids knew what the expectations were, and they were, like you said, they were very happy about writing. I think
As a site leader, I think the process was really affirming, having the collaborative process, because there was a lot that went on behind the scenes to get everything together, from subs to scheduling to finding a location, making space for that learning to happen. There are a lot of barriers for us as site leaders, but it's absolutely worth it to take the time to get your educators in a room together learning. if there's a will, there's a way.
What did we feel was put in place in this part of the design because they were all super engaged here? As a facilitator and having the opportunity to facilitate a collaborative learning process is energizing.
I would say there was more that had lowercase letters the rest of their writing, but some had
To see that adult learners also have multi-layered and varied access points to their own learning and understanding in their lesson design or their process, whatever it may be.
Give me a thumbs up if you set a goal.
I'd like for them to be able to tell me what their goal means.
Like tell you or like point it out
Point it out
in their
yeah,
writing.
in their writing. Yeah, to be able to show me a physical, here's my goal.
Some may come to the table with the knowledge of how important a clear, discrete goal is, whereas others are like, wow, that was such a big takeaway for me. Others might be taking away and saying, no, I have the goal piece down, but you know what? I never really thought of a lesson from the learner's perspective.
And my modeling could be how I can help. Do something.
And then yet another layer might be, wow, I really had the goal down, but to look at a lesson and think about what potential barriers could be there and to really intentionally think about, well, what options can I provide that are specifically addressing these barriers? That might be the aha for that learner.
I think I just noticed how important choice is for students and giving them that element of choice and ownership over their own learning.
This process gives them the time and the support and the tools and the vocabulary necessary to have those really, really important conversations that ultimately, which is the whole goal of all of this work, is to impact what's happening in the class. That's what the Cecil Project has really made happen. And that's rare, where it gets down to that level.
I like that. Good job. Thank you, Henry.